Hi, Marc Hanna here with Mark Trowbridge. Hello.
Good
Human
morning, good
patient.
evening, good afternoon.
We're here to do our final turn of the Battle of Austerlitz. That was a variant version. I was playing the Coalition, and Mark the French. We were at the final turn, and it still hangs in the balance. It's been quite exciting for a variant that we
Mm.
decided to play. Mark, do you want to explain to us what that variant was, just to remind the audience? It's been a few weeks since we did a video
Yeah,
too.
you were the Allies that could deploy an attack with more forces than they could historically. Is essentially what happened here, and which verily came unto pass. You
Yeah.
attacked heavily on the left flank, and I've seen actually some major success there. Um, but then we're left with the decision: what do you do everywhere else? So you kind of strengthened your center but didn't push, and then on your right you it was a kind of pinning maneuver. So there was huge corps just facing off against each other, but your main attack was on the left, and that's pretty much where we've been up to. We have engaged now this late in the game in the center and on the right.
Yes, and
But
technically I'm winning at the moment. But Mark, if you watch the last video, he's pressed on a number of areas. Let's take a look at this map,
mm,
shall we? Let me get the map going here.
yep.
Okay. Sorry, you'll have to not see our beautiful faces for a moment. Okay, guys. So, yeah, what Mark is referring to over here. Let me get some circles here. I pressed on the left, so Kolnitz, he's still there, but I've taken a victory hex here. There's also one down here I've taken, and my video doesn't seem to show it, but I guess I need to put the cursor back. This particular image, I didn't capture it, but if you see at the very edge here, this guy, that's Kutuzov, he's sitting
Mm,
in a victory hex, I think. So I
yeah,
had
yeah. So,
those over there, but I did not have this one here yet. I didn't have this one yet. That was still French. Now Mark is pressing on this hill. You can see, goodness, he's coming right up. There's a flag there he's trying to get. There's one or two behind it. There's another one here, I guess.
yeah, yeah, there is. Yeah.
And there's another one behind that. There's also one right here that he's trying to get. Here, let me get back the circle. So there, and there's this one that's in danger, as you can see,
And
because you
there's
can see.
Blatziowicz as well, where your
Oh,
your
right,
screening force is weak now, which is top right there.
right. Okay, so all of these are in danger. Okay, it's actually way too many. I can't handle the situation. Then we got the situation up north. There's one here that I'm attacking, trying to get
Yeah, at the
a
center, yeah, at the
flag
heights.
up there. And this
Hmm.
stupid little artillery held me off from getting closer.
Stupid little artillery. You
Uh,
mean brave,
yes, the
brave, courageous French gunners?
brave French swine. Okay. So that's the situation here, and we have one more turn. So what we both found, Mark, I think you agree that this was an amazingly balanced. Uh, uh,
Well,
that's
yeah,
cutting
it kept
myself
us
some.
going right till the last turn, which in any war game is pretty good going.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Now, Mark's a more seasoned player, and to just get this out of the way, he'd actually won this scenario twice before already, because he had a third push card, Mark, that's automatically allowed lands. Lands is over here. Okay. He had a third push activation that would have torn me apart here. And I said, yeah, that darn card. We talked a lot about the cards. We'll maybe bring that up later. So
Yeah,
he,
we ended up house ruling it, didn't we? That certain cards we wouldn't play because they were uber powerful. There's like a dozen tactical cards. You each get six. I think that's right.
right, right.
And a couple of them are very, very powerful compared to all the others. And of course, if you play them, then your opponent can play them on his next turn. So it's not completely one-sided, but um, it's I Mark's argument, which I had sympathy with, was that um, if you hold on to, if one player holds on to a card until the end of the game and then plays it right towards the end of the battle, the opponent, it's a tactical ploy. The opponent doesn't really get much time or opportunity to use it himself, and it could be a game-winning card. And it's not because of tactical prowess or strategy, except for card play. And I'm not a card game player. I'm a war gamer, and I know that cards can have various random effects. But when a handful of them are uber powerful, as we demonstrated in this battle, then I was amenable to house ruling that one or two of the cards we just wouldn't use.
Yeah, basically the thing about the cards is even though you normally have to activate your commanders by rolling for them, the card eliminates the activation part and gives an automatic activation to any commander that you want to apply the card to. And to me, it just short circuits the whole idea of the command.
Short circuits the game mechanics, doesn't it? I mean, they are optional. The tactical cards are optional. They're not a mandatory part of the game anyway.
No, they're not.
But in some battles, they add historical flavour that wouldn't be there using the general game mechanics. So, for instance, there's a Grand Battery card that the French can hang on to and play at Waterloo, and that makes perfect sense. Because what did they do at Waterloo? They set up a Grand Battery, and that allows you to fire with all your guns in one go, which you couldn't do under other circumstances using the game rules as is.
Right. From a
so
design standpoint,
there's some that are useful and they create a historical narrative.
Right, but on the other hand, used at precisely the right time, and just holding on to the cards. Like if you hold on to this barrage card, the opponent never gets a chance to do it. Yeah. What's historical about that? I mean, it doesn't make sense. You should be able to. We've talked about fixing this, but let's just move into the rest of this game. So that's the situation now. And the next slide, I think this is Lanz's attack. This is yours, Mark. Here.
Oh, yes.
And this is you've labeled this activation 1. So that's the first activation of the turn. Lanz is attacking Blazowitz and pressing toward.
I can give some commentary on this. What happened is the Allies actually won the initiative at the beginning of this turn. So Keinmeier, who is an Austrian general in charge of the advance guard, it's the yellow combat units that you can see right there. He went first.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
And his orders were to move towards Stervinradi, which is that victory point at the center bottom of the screen. So his force, which is quite fresh, to be fair, they hadn't been engaged, they attacked towards Blazowitz and started to move southwest. And you had accurate artillery fire. You killed some French. You didn't eliminate any units. And then you did a cavalry charge against my infantry, who tried to form square and was successful. But you broke the square and destroyed them anyway.
Did I use a card for that, or did I just get lucky?
No. Your cavalry went in. And then you reinforced around Blazowitz village, which is a VP hex I need to take to win. So what I did, I then activated LAN, the light blue units. A lot of them have melee assault markers on them.
Yeah, he came in hard. Look how he was attacking. It was devastating. He's attacking.
There was a lot of firing, you can see from the fire markers, and some of that was successful. And then they just went in, all guns blazing. And I managed to do a cavalry flanking attack. You can see the marker for the flanking attack on there, and right in the middle. Yeah, managed to.
You wiped that out, didn't you?
Have a flanking attack. Eliminated both of those infantry regiments. Yeah, and eliminated the defenders near Stervinradi, which is
this guy over here was wiped out. Yeah. You're talking about this guy, X.
Yeah, he was eliminated as well. Which then, of course, getting those units was great because it opened up the route to Stervinradi, and also that we attacked the half battery in Blazowitz itself, um, eliminated the infantry,
but
but
the bat.
the battery survived.
Oh, that's right. The battery held, but it
Yeah.
was just a sole
So
battery. Yeah.
just a few guns left with a few grim defenders manning the guns. So they held off a couple of thousand French infantry. So it was a good activation for the French, but the Austrians did manage to hold their own in the village, which gave Marc an opportunity to try and reinforce.
Right.
So
You can
that's what
see.
happened in this battle. So all those melee combats were successful, except for the attack on the victory point, which is the one I needed to be successful.
Right. So I'm hoping and praying at this point, if you understand how the system works, I'm hoping for end of turn results every single
Yeah.
time. Because if we can end this thing, I can possibly win. But no, it didn't end yet. So this is your game changer result file here, Mark. What's going on with
Yeah,
this?
this is the end result of Lannes' attacks, the one I was just explaining.
Oh, okay.
So you can see that there's a one-step artillery unit left in Blatchevitz village. He was the sole Remainer, and all of the other allied units are gone. So all Lannes units
Yes,
can now,
where are the allies? Where
yeah, they're gone.
all I have is this leader sitting right there by
That's
himself.
right.
And here's
That's right.
Alexander too. So,
And I called that a game changer because I felt at this time that you weren't able to go back and activate the Austrians again that are in Blatchevitz because they were the last ones that you activated. So I had an
oh
opportunity
right.
to maybe get back in there. So we'll see. And in the end, I think that attack for Lan allowed him to position himself to get two of the VPs needed to
Right,
try and close
right.
that gap.
This
That's why I
illustrates
said it was a
better.
game changing one.
Right. Oh, totally a game changer. But the
Yeah.
thing is, I also this was where I really started praying for the end of the turn,
Yeah.
because I knew that I was going to lose two hexes. I think you only needed two to win, as I recall.
I
Uh, th-
remember.
I can't remember, but at the moment, I am not winning this. Okay. Well, I am winning it at the moment, but I'm on the verge of losing it. Okay. Anything else on this slide, Mark?
No, that's it. We're good to go to the next one.
All right. So this one. Allied action activation 3, Kolrath routs the Imperial Guard heavy cavalry. Okay.
I'll tell you what's happened here. Just
That
prior to this, at the center right near Pratzenberg Heights, Napoleon
okay, you're talking
had
about
active.
Pratzenberg Heights.
Yeah,
So
Napoleon
where's
had
Napoleon
activated.
right here?
He's
Uh,
under Bessières.
oh, Napoleon and Bessières are here, and they had activated.
Yeah. Now Napoleon had activated with a direct command, so he could move 3 stacks of units himself, and they
Ah,
managed to advance within 1 hex of the Pratzenberg Heights there. And he was like, "The devil take the hindmost. I'm going for the heights, whether the Russian Fourth Corps come across or not." Which of course they do. But that's so he's now within a whisker of taking the Pratzenberg Heights with the Imperial Guard, who are very difficult to break. Having said that, look what happened on the left. Marc activates Kolrath's Fourth Corps, tries to surround the Imperial Guard. You can see all those yellow and red units there with the red stripe on the top. And then with a kind of militia battalion on the left, fires at the Imperial Guard, who roll a 12 on their QFT check and rout the Imperial Guard cavalry, the elite cavalry of the whole army, rout away from the French attack, which
yeah,
was a bit soul destroying,
but I think the
it,
thing is we determined. I don't think this is the Guard cavalry. The Guard cavalry actually was eliminated by this because they had no place to rout. I think
oh,
that's what happened. I can't remember.
right.
Yeah. I think these are some other routers. I was just doing
Okay, that's
I was
extra
doing so
ones.
well on the leftover here. It was
Yeah,
unbelievable.
yeah,
But
you were
one
it.
place I wasn't is this infamous Devu hex. You can
Yeah.
see all of the artillery. You see all these artillery, all of these battalions of artillery have been shooting, shooting,
Yeah.
shooting. these
Yeah.
guys shooting, and they're just, yeah, whatever.
Well, he had
So-
some good infantry with him, and with him having an extra leadership value of 2, which you can see on the counter, I think it was very difficult. If he was ever called upon for a morale check, he was generally passing them, wasn't he, because of his leadership. But so far, yeah, Deville had managed to hold on.
So this was again not losing yet, but you can see the danger zones here. They are right
Yeah,
here. Uh, there's a flag. There's a flag. There's another flag even lower than that this way.
yeah,
There's another flag down here, and then there's also this one here. Okay.
yeah.
It looks like I had secured this one, but I was, still hadn't taken this. So,
That's
um,
right.
so the situation still was grim at this stage, but still winning. So what can I tell you? I can't complain. I'm on the last turn of the game and still ahead. So now I think we get to
French activation 4.
right, and this is where I rolled a snake eyes on Devu over here and blew up his guys. They were just rubbing their fingernails on their shirts, and then I shot some cannonballs at them, and they just blew up and routed. And
You finally did it. I
I
mean, yeah,
finally
you keep
did
on
it.
barreling away, you keep on cannonading. At some point, you're going to have some success. Otherwise,
Yeah.
unless you've angered the dice gods. Can you zoom in on that?
Yes, I can. Hold on. Let me just switch to this. You want me to? Where do you want me to zoom in, Mark?
Yeah, that's fine. It's just, yeah, it was a bit distant. That's all. So
Oh
you've
yeah, it
taken,
was right. Okay, so but look, he had also done his activation of the actual guard themselves, and
yeah,
now you can see he's taken this. He's threatening. Actually, I think that was the
I've
second one that
taken
you
that one.
took.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Um, you've taken the
and
heights, and I
yeah,
still have my artillery holding out. But here's
yeah.
the attack. I think you finally wiped me out at that point. Okay. So
Well,
my other,
Deville was wounded when you attacked into Sokolnitz.
oh, that's one reason
That's
I
a
was
big
able to
problem.
win that battle.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
But elsewhere, the guard and Lands Corps were doing their job. So that's that allowed the French to overtake in terms of victory point areas, victory point locations.
But I was still attacking this one up here. I
Yeah,
finally
you were.
got rid of that artillery unit. But he had some strong units. You see that? There's that 15.
Yeah, it's a
The
static
French
battery,
usually
isn't it?
don't get those 15
Yeah.
batteries. The Austrians get a bunch, and the Russians do too.
Mm.
And Mark always made a point of like making sure they took a step loss and rubbing it in. Oh, there goes your 15 down to an 8. So anyway, this
Is there
was the
another?
real, I'd still, but I was obviously losing at this point because he'd taken 3. I was still trying to catch up, and I'd taken this one. I was thinking, oh, maybe I can get one more,
Yeah, yeah.
but it really wasn't. So
That's
anyway,
why we were saying it was so close because, and this is where you tried to take one off me. I think this was your last activation of the battle.
yeah, this was the end of the game here where
Yeah,
I tried to take the Staunton, as it's called, but I got rejected. You see these guys?
they were wretched.
Yeah,
Too many
so
French guns.
there
Yeah,
was just too much. And yeah, here you can see down here where Mark had seized this one. And
yeah.
I think I surrendered at this point, or did we end the game? I can't
You
remember, but
surrendered. Yeah,
I
because
did.
they'd
Okay.
overtaken, and you weren't confident that you were going to be able to take the Santen.
And this is
Um,
your end of the battle slide, Mark.
oh yeah, end of battle PNG. Yeah, yeah, which is just the rest of the field, isn't it? Where you can see that Napoleon's broken through with the guard on the Pratzenberg Heights. There's still a battle around Prats, the village itself, right in the center of the screen
Oh,
there.
right. Let me highlight that. Here we go.
Um,
Sorry,
so
that's
that
not
you know,
very good.
in terms of the narrative, there's still a vicious battle, and you were holding your own there, but the 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 Allied line's been broken around the Pratzenberg Heights. Um, the French have lost ground on their other flank, but
Right.
it's breaking through the Pratzenberg Heights and in the center around Stavinradi, which has broken the line, if you like. So it means that there's no. It would get if we continued from that point. Zone of controls would start to prevent routing and cause a lot of casualties in the Allies and so on. I think that's why you decided to stop.
Well, you also
Yeah,
had
it gets
these.
very difficult, doesn't it, to route towards your line of supply if there's enemy units there. They just automatically get eliminated.
Well, there's some
Um,
flags down here. There's this
yeah. Oh,
castle
yeah. There's
down
extra
here that's
flags.
another
Yeah.
flag. I think there's another flag this way. I'm not sure if there is
But it
one.
was a heroically fought battle, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it because it went to the last turn, and that's those cards aside, it went to the last turn, and you can't ask for more than that.
No,
When we
fantastic.
devoted so much time, I mean, every morning and evening we were
It
sending
was
play by email turns backwards and forwards for weeks on end.
right. You can see the notes. These are some of my calmer notes. I was writing.
Your
I
calmer
was-
notes, yeah.
yeah, yeah. My
Oh yeah.
I'm a little more emotional about his bad dice rolling or his good dice rolling, whatever it is. Uh, I'm like, I didn't deserve that, and you didn't deserve that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think it's a good learning experience for me to temper, watch my personal morale check factor. Anyway, Mark's been very patient with me, a great sportsman. Let me restart the game twice after already winning it twice. That not a lot of people are willing to do that. So we had a great time. We love this system. We've come up with some house rules to fix a couple of things. Some people complain about this leader routing. At one game we played, the Kutuzov leader of Marc was, when he played the Allies, was hopping from pillbox to pill. It was like bastion to bastion because it was not possible for me to stop him from teleporting. So we tried to fix the teleportation rule. We had a
Yeah.
long discussion about this with another
Yeah,
friend
we
of
did.
ours, Byron. We basically, my point was a lot of these games, and I think some of the guys agreed here. I'm not sure, but many games don't give you victory points for the leaders because, it just tilts the balance of the game. Um, now, my feeling is if you lose a big leader like Napoleon, Mark said this actually, if you lose Napoleon, okay, you deserve to lose the game because probably the whole battle, the whole French Empire would stop trying to fight
Yeah.
because he held it together, didn't he? Um,
Yeah.
but some of these other leaders are worth 50 points and stuff. Well, 50 points is like two or three of these units, or it's a lot.
Yeah.
Um, it's a highly so other games don't let you get points for this for these leaders.
Well, the
But
whole system though is based around the leadership and the command activations.
right,
The toing and froing of who you can activate next, and of course, the better the leader, the easier it is to activate his core. But if you consistently throw him into battle, he can get wounded, and if he gets wounded or killed or captured, then his leadership rating poofs.
it does
Um,
go away, but it doesn't do enough. I don't know. Actually, we've lost some good leaders before where it has mattered. I
hmm.
remember losing Murat on a cavalry charge, and I couldn't activate the cav after that very
Oh,
well at
that's
all.
right. Yeah, and he was right. He'd broken through
I had
the
a
Allied line
breakthrough,
in
and
our previous game, and he was stuck right in the middle. He could create all sorts of merry
they're
hell,
just milling around out there, just where's
but you
Murat?
couldn't activate him because you couldn't make the roll. Yeah, I remember that.
And I was trying, yeah. So that I think is a great effect of the game. Look, um, that was one thing we talked about. We talked about the cards and nerfing them for
Mm.
some of our games. But the next game, Mark and I, what is it? ALAU 1807, but it's not Walter's version. It's what
Oh,
is
it's Sound of Drums by Uwe Valentin. Yeah, that's what we're going to do next,
Uva. Is
which has
that how you
just
pronounce that?
arrived.
Okay, Uva, Uva.
Uwe,
So
yeah, Uwe, I
it's
think
spelled
actually.
EW, no,
UWE.
UWE. So I always say Uwe, but that's totally
Yeah,
wrong. Okay.
yeah, that's completely wrong. Yeah.
Hey, Uwe. How are
Yeah.
you? God. Sorry, Uwe. Okay. So anyway, yeah, well, that's a different system. This game doesn't have facing and stuff like that. I think that game does, right, Mark?
That's right.
So
Yeah,
we'll try
it's
that
a
next.
little bit more tactical, a little bit more, not a lot, but a little bit more zoomed in.
There's a lot of
So,
focus on this Battle of Eylau recently. There's another of
mm,
the Walter, who I don't think he's designing this game for Hexasim, but he's designing his own
yeah,
one. And there's another game out there I think I saw.
yeah. The other Battle of Isle is the oh, I've forgotten the name of the designer. I feel a bit embarrassed about that, but
Okay.
it's using the old horse system from Wellington's victory back in the early 80s, and it's been revamped and repackaged,
Huh.
um, and it's a huge game. It's about £200
Oh
or
gosh.
dollars, and
Oh,
it's expensive, man. But it's in the weeds. I mean, you're talking like, I think, on a level of complexity with the most deep set of La Bataille rules, and maybe even more so. So it's quite in the weeds.
okay.
But I
Well,
have nothing against games that are in the weeds. That's great.
oh yeah, Mark, he turned me into a real fanatic about this system, but now I want more. We were looking at Wargaming Design Studios has some games, and Mark's played those a lot. He says there's some issues with those, but I think they fixed some of those. But we haven't even
Oh,
tried that
yeah,
yet.
those guys have done so much to improve their engine. A lot of the stuff I used to house rule has now been resolved, which is fantastic. I can't say enough good stuff about WDS, but I think it's just a familiarity is not bred contempt. That's not what I want to say, but familiarity. I'm over familiar with with the main
You've
key
played the heck
scenarios
out
in
of
the
them.
Napoleon.
Is
Yeah,
that it? You
yeah.
played them by mail,
So many
all over the
times over the
place,
last,
right?
2 or 3 decades. So,
Wow, amazing.
um,
So here we are, Mark Trowbridge, very prolific wargamer, very competitive. Even though he says, "Oh, I'm not
I'm not
competitive."
competitive.
What do you
I just play
mean?
for fun.
like like all you guys out there who play for fun.
I just play for
Yeah,
fun. Yeah.
I play ASL only for fun. Okay, I'm going to put
Do you
on
want to
my
put?
butt hurt
I'm gonna.
glasses. I'm going to make fun of you guys. You don't just play for fun. You play to win, just like
You
everybody
play a
else.
win. Yeah, I'm thinking we should put money on our next game.
Not a lot, I hope. I can't afford to buy your 200-pound game, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, it's been a pleasure doing this series for everybody. Thanks. Thanks a
Yeah,
lot again to Mark for
yeah.
putting up with me and this.
If you've stayed till the end, thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you liked it. If you all watched all of this and don't like it, well, hey, what can we do? So, coming to you on uncensored, unscripted. This is definitely
Unapologetic,
not scripted
unapologetic, and
and
unscripted.
unapologetic. All
Yeah.
right. We'll see you guys. Thanks a lot.
Cheers.
Okay, cheers.
Bye.
All right, so let me end it.